Hi everyone, this is Victoria and I'm here with your special edition reading dedicated to the strawberry full moon. This is a full moon in Capricorn that is going at its peak tonight. For those of you in Europe and Asia, it will be technically tomorrow. But it's close enough, and so as usual I wanted to do a reading where I give you the three main themes with the oracle cards, and we'll use the Whispers of the Ocean for that today. And then I'll use a tarot deck to give you messages for each individual zodiac sign. And because this is a full moon in Capricorn, we will begin with Capricorn and we'll go around the zodiac wheel. This message is going to be for Sun, Moon, and Rising positions in your chart, so I do recommend to check out messages for each of them. If for some reason you don't have the time or the desire to check out all three, and there will be timestamps, you can easily jump around specific signs. Please check out messages for your moon sign, because we are talking about a lunation event. I'm also testing my new mic, so there is some, definitely, I'm on the porch, so there's definitely some outside noise. It's not too bad, but I think it's good enough for me to give it a test drive, and hopefully I will be delivering much higher quality videos for you guys, especially when I'm recording outside, which I love to do when I have a chance to be in nature. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. All right, before I begin, just a couple of words. Obviously, the full moon, a reminder that this is a time when, and this is a super moon. So the moon, especially for those who like watching, you know, the moon at night, moonlight, all of it, is gonna be amazing. The moon is gonna be very, very close. It is already very, very close, so it looks huge. The illumination is gonna be magnificent. If you're near water somewhere, it's gonna be even better. That means, though, that the closer and the brighter that illumination is, the stronger the power of the full moon is, which in fact is a lot about, it's a lot about being shown certain patterns and certain scenarios that you may be afraid of seeing, that maybe you feel ashamed of or embarrassed of, or maybe you suppressed them so many years ago that you have no memory of it altogether, right? And this is the time when those things come up, and it may be very, very uncomfortable. The full moon in Capricorn basically means the themes of the Capricorn energy is about what you invest your energy in, right? Does that make sense? Does it give you the return on investment, so to speak, right? What is it? Like, what kind of reward are you expecting for your hard work? Are you putting in enough effort into what you're trying to build in this life? Those kind of things. Capricorn is a very practical sign. It's an earth sign, so it's a lot about, like, if you want to achieve something, you need to put in your hard work, right? So the themes are going to be all around this, but of course it doesn't go just for literally the work, like a job, but it goes into anything and everything. It's like, how much work do you put in a relationship, right? Whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, a family member relationship, right? How much effort do you put into your passion, maybe your creative output, you know, like, and what does it mean to you? Why do you do exactly what you do right now, right? How can you maybe modify that to get more out of it, whether it's more joy or maybe more practical output, if we're talking about the business, for example, right? It can be practical like that. Anyways, that's food for thought for you, to maybe some things are already coming up, and if you are trying to ignore them, this is a sign. Please look them in the face. And then of course we'll get 3 oracle cards to see what the themes are specifically for this full moon. And for everyone watching, I appreciate your likes, shares, and comments. Thank you for being with me. So the first one is number 9, which is amble with contentment. Waiting rather than acting is going to be most advantageous now. Yeah, so it is also the time when we have Mercury retrograde begin. Hello, Mercury retrograde. So, you know, where at other times you may want to rush in and change something, do something different, especially as you get insights. This time is asking you to kind of simmer a little bit more in that information, maybe sleep on it. Don't even share with others necessarily, just sit with it and see what that means, right? Or maybe you need a little more information or analysis before it's appropriate to take action. The second one is inner desire. So I actually got this one for the Mercury retrograde yesterday, but I think it's pretty fitting, you know. We're getting similar cards because it's the same timeline, you know, similar collective that I'm reading for. Set some intentions. You're entering a phase of plenty or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp, but again, following Capricorn need be specific of what you're trying to build and why. Are you clear on the intentions, on the priorities, on the value that those specific areas or projects have for you, right? Revisit that. Remind yourself and remind the universe what is your highest priority goals and dreams so that they can realize in life. Finally, we have number 48, disengage from outcomes. This is like the 101 manifestation rule. Let go so you can open yourself to the highest love that you deserve. Find ways to release worry or any unresolved lack of forgiveness you may be holding on to. Very interesting, right? And again, it speaks to you on multiple levels here. So if you need to replay that, think about what it means for you. How do you disengage from outcomes? And on the other side of it, how do you stop judging yourself and anybody else involved in that situation? Find ways to release worry or any unresolved lack of forgiveness, again, towards yourself and towards other people involved. All right, so those are our themes, and we'll move on. I keep forgetting that my mic is here, so I keep leaning in so you guys can hear me, but we don't really need to do that. All right, I have a lot of hopes for this mic. One of the decks that I haven't used in the longest time is their Dreaming Way Tarot. And we will begin with Capricorn, and we'll just go one by one along the zodiacal wheel. So what does Capricorn need to know for this full moon in Capricorn? The moon, thank you, that's a confirmation for me personally. Clarified by Queen of Wands and Three of Wands. Those are those intentions. It's like whatever strong emotions come up for you during this time, don't run away from them. They're your clues. They are what you're supposed to use to see where to go next, right? And I'm not saying exactly walk towards the pain, but, you know, do it in a smart way, you know, like if you see, I don't know, some kind of, I'm just making it up, if you see some kind of childhood or you remember those scenarios where you wanted to get into something like a hobby, I don't know, let's say painting, and your parents talked you out of it, or something happened, somebody judged your artwork at that time and it completely got you off of it and you never came back to it again, right? Look into it, see how that could be part of your life now. And it doesn't mean necessarily that you literally have to go and do painting. Maybe there is another area of art that is of interest to you right now, but in a similar way, you're not allowing yourself to go for it because of that old scenario that kind of showed you on some level that you're not really artistic, or, you know, maybe the world doesn't want to see what you're presenting or creating, you know, something like that. It often goes into those multiple levels. That's how our brain memorizes it. So see how you can dig deeper or lean into those maybe painful memories, right? Maybe something that brought fear in the past, but now with a new level of consciousness, you can give it another shot and, you know, not just do it differently, but actually do it. Actually allow yourself to go through with it. Okay, next we'll go to Aquarius. All right, got something for Aquarius. We got Seven of Swords, clarified by Nine of Swords, and the Empress. Wow. There's a lot of worry for you, Aquarius, during this time. So much overthinking, so much. And again, the Empress here in the back of it, that's a clarification in this case, right? It could be an actual person that you're dealing with, an important feminine figure in your life that you want to get closer to build a relationship with, or to improve a relationship with. But something is stopping you. There's so much overthinking and, again, judging of yourself and others. Remember that card about forgiveness. Go back to that message. You need to let go of worry at this time, right? Like, look, all this sorts is what you're doing to yourself. There is this beautiful energy here, very powerful, very creative, very nurturing. For those who do not resonate with the story of feminine figure, this is your creative power. This is the feminine energy within that you're not connecting to because of some kind of storyline, because of some kind of scenario that, you know, this is not for me, or this is too, I don't know, too much out there, or that's not how I was raised, or whatever it is, right? Or I don't have time for creativity right now, right? I need to pay the bills. Whatever it is, there's a great opportunity during this time, and try to see like what is stopping you from going there, right? How can you say yes to this? It's easy to say no. How can you say yes? All right. Next, we'll go to Pisces. What does Pisces need to know during this full moon in Capricorn? Oh, that's too many cards. It's also very humid here because we just had a rainstorm. It was pretty heavy. So it literally feels like a sauna in here. So the cards respond. It's Three of Swords, but it's actually in reverse, so I'm going to take it that way. And it's clarified by Queen of Cups and Nine of Swords. Okay, so for you, Pisces, there's still heart healing in progress from some kind of old story. It could be connected again it could be with a feminine, or it could be also with a child, because we also have a child here. The Queen of Cups has a child sitting next to her, right? And it doesn't even matter, like the queen doesn't have to be feminine per se, right? But there is some kind of a story here, familiar story, that something happened that broke your heart, and you're trying to get over it. You're trying to sort of say, that's okay, I'm gonna be fine. Like, this happened, but you know, I can take the high road, or something like that. It's like you're trying to heal it through mind work, through thinking about it, right? I'm gonna think about it differently and it's gonna go away, but it doesn't work that way. And it's very important, as one of the main and first steps is to feel the feeling, to go to process the emotions that are still with you. Something painful is there, right? And this full moon is asking you to face that, to look at it, so you can, again, let go of it, you can release it, and you can start building fresh. Whether it's with this person or somebody else, but you can heal from it, and you don't need this pain to linger with you. That's not the point. Okay, that was for Pisces. Now Aries. What does Aries need to know during this full moon in Capricorn? Okay, got King of Cups. That's somebody that doesn't want to connect with their feelings and emotions. Clarified by Two of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. Ooh, okay. So for Aries, you may be assuming this role of King of Cups as someone who has a lot of emotional intelligence, but so much so that they oftentimes can hide their true feelings and emotions, right? They can keep them private. And as much as they may have good intentions, you may have good intentions for that. It may not be that way for everyone involved, you know. And more than anything, you're preventing yourself from, you know, living your authentic life and having that freedom to express yourself. It always feels like there is a kind of a choice that you need to make. Do I express myself freely, or do I play a role? Do I put on a face, right? Like, what am I supposed to do here? And it's like, it takes a lot of energy actually to do all that mental work before you can speak, you can act, you know, in a specific situation. There is some kind of a juggling that you're doing between different areas of your life where you feel like you need to choose, or different people could be as well, right? And it's like, it's exhausting to have to play a certain role in those different areas or with those different people. So the Ace of Swords basically says the truth will help you heal and will free you, you know, but the truth you need to understand where your true loyalty and you know, your true expression is, basically, right? And you can free yourself from anything that's not that, or at least have honest conversations so that you and other people involved can decide if this is something that's, you know, sustainable, that you want to continue having in your life, or maybe not, right? Because Two of Pentacles is the energy that kind of gets disbalanced and tired, right? Because it's like too much, always juggling, and like in the classic tarot, it's like almost like walking on a rope, you know, with this juggling pentacles or whatever other objects they may present. But the Taurus need to know during this full moon in Capricorn. Strengths, clarified by Four of Wands. Wow, that's beautiful. And Six of Cups. Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. And look at this artwork. Anyways, your main card is the Strengths, and there's actually a couple, so you can see couples here, and there's kind of a couple here in the Strengths card, with like the girl, the person, right, and the lion being the masculine energy. So Taurus, there's definitely courage that's needed right now. Courage to be honest with where your, you know, heart is, where your dreams are, and what is the foundation of a true relationship is for you, where you can open your heart, where you can be yourself, where you can express your love, whether it's to a romantic partner, again, or it could be a friend actually, or could be a family member. But usually this is about romantic partner, especially with Four of Wands here. But it doesn't have to be, right? This is soulmate energy, and it's like, how do you build that foundation with them? Emotionally, practically, right? What does it look like? What is important? What are the main steps, the mandatory steps for you to build something real, and to build something that will make you happy, that will bring you joy, and will make the other person happy as well, right? It's like there's still things that need to be thought of and spoken about, and they may take a lot of courage from you, but it's worth it. And that's part of how you evolve as a person too, because through another person, through a relationship, you learn so much about yourself, right? And you can then acknowledge, you know, this is important for me, or this doesn't work for me, or I'm struggling with this, right? Which makes us very vulnerable when we talk about things like that. But it is important if you want to move to the next level in that relationship. So Gemini, what does Gemini need to know during this full moon in Capricorn? Knight of Pentacles, clarified by the Empress. Oh, I love how Empress shows up. And the Chariot. Wow, there's a lot of divine orchestration here. So it may seem like things are moving slowly on the surface, or somehow you cannot move as quickly as you want due to some circumstances. But believe me that everything is going according to the plan, and you need to trust the divine timing on this one, right? It takes time for something beautiful to be born, some kind of new creative project, maybe even somebody quite literally to have a baby, to get pregnant, you know. It may like it takes time for a good reason, right? That there could be some things that still need to be balanced out, that need to be sorted out, for this to come to fruition, right? But a direction has been set, and you're essentially taking steps towards that direction that you've chosen, and you know, whichever parts of it are in alignment with the divine plan. Divine plan is being executed basically at the moment, right? Continue doing what you're doing. Know that every step, no matter how small it may seem, is important there. Every pause on that path is important. And yeah, things are coming together for you in a beautiful way. All right, Cancer. What does Cancer need to know during this full moon in Strawberry in Capricorn? We have King of Swords, clarified by Four of Swords in reverse, and Page of Cups. So, King of Swords basically tells us there's a lot on your plate where you feel like a lot depends on you, right? Or somebody's putting you in a position where they want you to make some important decisions that will impact them, or you know, maybe even a lot of different people, right? That feels like a lot of responsibility, and that adds certain pressure. So you may feel restless, you may feel overly emotional, a little disbalanced with your emotions in general. It's all good. Just remember that the more you're trying to keep it all in and stay strong, the more difficult it will be to move forward, and the more difficult the decisions are going to be. So first step is to relax and to ground yourself, to focus on self and your energy and whatever your mindfulness practices could be that bring you back to balanced state. That needs to happen first. And if that means taking a day off to have that, you know, they call it mental health day for yourself, then do that. It is vital right now to make sure that you are able to make good decisions with whatever it is that responsibility was given to you, or maybe you've taken it for yourself, right? Maybe you're a CEO of your own business, right? But whatever it is, there's a lot of impact to those decisions. So you better be making them out of a place of balance. Next we have Leo, and your first card is Ace of Cups, which is beautiful. And then it's clarified by Nine of Wands and Five of Wands. Wow. It's like there is so much love you have to give and you want to give, maybe to someone specific at this point. But there's all this, it's noisy energy on the back of like, what will people think? Or am I even gonna have time for this relationship? Or am I gonna be good enough for this person, right? Love is beautiful, and cherish it and celebrate it and be happy about it even before you opened up your heart and shared, right? And not to mention that, and this could be a completely separate reading, right? But go back to those oracle cards at the beginning where we talked about inner desires, we talked about being able with contentment, right? Not necessarily needing to know all the answers for like upfront, first of all. And also, do not underestimate yourself. Let yourself shine. Let yourself, show up in a true, innate presence, and then see what happens, right? That's at least the fastest and easiest way to find out whether you and this person are compatible, and whether you are good together. Saves you a lot of time and energy, honestly. They also say you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. So even if it feels awkward and you're like, oh, I'm so bad at this, if this is the right person, it will work out. Okay, next we go to Virgo. Virgo. You have Five of Cups, clarified by the World, and Knight of Wands. Okay, so there is the Five of Cups in this deck is about some kind of argument that, you know, separated you from somebody else, which is generally only one of the scenarios, but we'll go with it. Why not? I'm using this deck, right? It allows you, whatever this argument is, doesn't have to be like all or nothing, doesn't mean the end of the relationship, but whatever the tension is, it is needed for you to see that certain ways of how you approach the conversation, the communication, they aren't working, they aren't efficient, they aren't healthy. For some of you, they aren't working with this specific person, so take it how it resonates. But yeah, you can be rash sometimes with what you say. There could be too much drama in a situation, or maybe the other person initiates drama and you respond and you just take it forward and then it goes off the rails quickly. So see for yourself what can you tend to in that space. Again, whether this person stays in your life or not, this is an important lesson. This is why this person is here to teach you, at least one of the reasons, right? And this is something you can look at, and your advice to look at was the World card, to end the cycle, to put it to bed, to understand why triggers appear like that in the first place, right? And again, tend to yourself and take care of yourself there, so you can reframe the reality and not feel somehow threatened by whatever this conversation or this type of a conversation brings up for you. All right, next we go to Libra. What does Libra need to know during this full moon in Capricorn? Queen of Cups, clarified by Nine of Pentacles, and Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, Libra, so for you, you're being asked to look at your inner world and what does it require for contentment, for happiness. It may require something on the inside, meaning the relationship, the emotional closeness, somebody who understands you, how you operate, why you are the way you are. It can also mean, and it's likely also about the external side, like what will make you happy in terms of your lifestyle, your setting, where do you live, who do you live with, your daily routine, you know, like when do you get up, how much time do you have for yourself after work, or maybe you need it in the middle of the day, right? Do you have enough time for a good healthy lunch, things like that, you know, like all of these different aspects. Like in the ideal world, what would that look like? You're asked to have that vision build up, so you focus on making it happen, and not like focus in an anxious way of like, oh my god, this is not possible, but seeing what can you do today, right? And to me, in this case, this is more than anything like you and your inner child. How can you support your inner child right now the most? What would give you, what is a quick win, you know, what will give you a positive change with low effort that you can introduce right away? Do that, even if you just change one thing, but still build the vision. That will change your life completely. You'll see. It may feel a little bit selfish at first when doing this exercise, but it is necessary at this point. Now we'll go to Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know during this full moon in Capricorn? Queen of Wands, clarified by Six of Wands and Ten of Wands. Wow, a lot of fire for Scorpio today. Look at this Queen of Wands. I mean, she looks like she has a lot on her mind, right? It's like heavy weight of of her position, right? Of being the wise one, of being the leader, the ruler, you know, whatever, right? And there is a certain ambition here that I can see for you, Scorpio, to be the best, to do the best, to shine brightly, you know, to conquer whatever field you're entering or where you're working towards next level of success, right? You want that success, but at the same time there's this heaviness of the world on your shoulders, and so it feels almost impossible to reach this level, or it's like, oof, that feels like too much work, and I'm not sure I even should go for it, you know. I don't know if I have it in me. And the answer is not to abandon your goal or your dream. The answer may be only to stop rushing yourself towards it so much. But the answer is to see how you can remove some of that burden that weighs you down, that takes too much of your energy and time. This is not moving you closer to the dream, right? It's like quote unquote responsibility that you have, right? But it's not bringing you value, it's not making you happy. See how you can at the very least delegate it, outsource it, see how you can, you know, make it someone else's problem, but in a good way, you know. If not, renegotiate. If it's a business that's dragging you down, sell the business. You know, there are always ways. There aren't always easy decisions, but it will help you loads, and you'll immediately see all this jolt of energy, of, you know, creativity and wanting to take action towards your dream and towards your success and towards that victory. For some people, I'm hearing that it is quite literally a competition where, you know, you want to win. So you'll immediately see how that energy and vibration will change for you for the better. And next we'll go to Sagittarius. That will be our last sign for this reading. What does Sagittarius need to know during this full moon in Capricorn? Ten of Pentacles, I love this. Clarified by, wow, Two of Cups. Sagittarius and, oh, Ten of Wands. Okay, never mind. I love the tens here, so it seems like it's the end of a cycle for you, but it's been a very fruitful cycle. On the one hand, it's bringing you a lot of rewards for everything that you've done, for the hard work that you've put in. On the other hand, it's created a lot of additional pressure and tension, maybe physically for some of you emotionally, or both. And it's now creating certain tension for a relationship with a soulmate. And you may actually be questioning yourself, like, is the tension here because we're not supposed to be together, and, you know, it just outlived itself, the relationship, and we're supposed to part ways? Or am I, you know, putting something ahead of the relationship and ruining it, basically ruining something beautiful here? Again, like I was telling, I think it was Libra before, or Scorpio, it's important to let go of the burden. That's when you'll be able to see clearly, right? See how you can unpack some of that, how you can divide and conquer, share the responsibility with somebody else, delegate it, you know, pay someone to outsource that work. Maybe make a conscious decision to delay certain decisions so they're not weighing down on you. Sorry for the traffic if you can hear it. And, you know, see how you can remove those things that are burdening you without bringing you happiness. And some of them may sound like good things, like, I don't know, let's say you're taking care of a sick parent. Let's say some of it is a lot of goals that you have for your physical fitness, right? And they all sound great and totally the right things to do. But if they're getting you into the Ten of Wands energy, they're not doing you any good. So, you know, you can always hire help to help your sick parent, and maybe balance out, you know, compromise that you'll be visiting them and doing some stuff for them, but not as much. If you're doing something for his physical health, see what's realistic right now. Maybe hire a trainer, consult them. What makes sense? And maybe it doesn't even make sense to do all those things that you want to do at the same time, right? Start slowly, start with small steps and build up on that, right? And then you'll be able to see where this relationship stands and, you know, what kind of decisions you need to make out of it. But if anything, this is a certain catalyst for you to improve the quality of life. So that much I can tell you from this reading. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was useful, and if so, please like the video and of course subscribe to the channel. And until next time, bye.